She fell to her knees. Only you can purify me, human. So I did, and changed everything. Evan Rook hauled Salith Vey through the clinic hatch. Her lithe frame buckled against him, scales fever-hot under his grip. He slapped the emergency seal. The door clamped shut with a pneumatic hiss, cutting off the shouts from the corridor. Salith collapsed to her knees on the sterile deck, violet eyes locked on his, wide with terror. Purify me, human. The microbes, your world's filth, they burn inside. Do it now or I die. Evan's pulse spiked. No human medic trained for Purify. Station protocols screamed quarantine for alien biothreats. But her coughs rattled wet, phlegm flecking her lips. He moved. He snapped on nitrile gloves. Double-layered, standard human hygiene. Grabbed a surgical mask from the wall dispenser and pressed it over her muzzle. Breathe through this. Slow. She clawed at his arm. Claws retracted just in time, drawing no blood. No time. My blood thickens, lungs flood. Purify. Quiet. Evan activated the triage scanner on his wrist unit. It hummed to life, blue light sweeping her torso. Data scrolled. Elevated core temp, anomalous protein spiking, microbial bloom in her respiratory tract, human skin flora, everyday staph and strep, amplified in her system. Her species, Bayari, must lack immunity to Terran bugs. Alarms blared outside. Medic Rook. Open up! Marshal Dravik orders quarantine. Boots thudded against the hatch. Evan tapped his comm. Dravik, stand down. She's not contagious to you. Hold fire. Human, you breach protocol. She's a carrier. Bayari physiology rejects your microbes catastrophically. Open, or we breach. Salith whimpered, curling fetal. Evan ignored the pounding. He prepped a sedative hypospray, human grade, low dose. This calms the panic. Trust me. Her eyes darted. You understand. Enough to help. He pressed the hypo to her neck. Hiss. Her tremors eased. Eyelids drooped. The scanner pinged. Contaminant mapped. Bacterial overgrowth. Her immune response in meltdown. Purification sounded like aggressive decontamination. He eyed the autoclave unit. Too harsh. IV antibiotics. Her biology might reject them. Calm crackled. Rook, this is Archivist Keth. I monitor vitals remotely. Bayari records indicate Purify means flushing symbiotic barriers. Human microbes disrupt their dermal symbiotes. Standard Bayari purge risks organ failure without precise buffering. Evan exhaled. Keth, the station's bioethicist. Data-driven, not panic-prone. Protocol, Keth. I need steps. Inject neutralizing foam into affected tissues. Follow with electrolyte flush. Your hygiene standards, sterile fields, gloves, they mimic our clean rooms. Improvise. Evan's world. He grabbed the medkit, sterile foam canister, meant for wound packing. Buffered saline IV, human basics. Salith stirred. It spreads to heart. Stay with me. Evan knelt, gloved hand steady. He peeled back her tunic sleeve. Scales parted like iridescent tiles, revealing inflamed vents beneath. Pores wept clear fluid. He misted foam from the canister. It foamed white, sealing the vents. She gasped. Pain, relief. Her hand gripped his wrist. Claws sheathed, gentle now. Patch rattled. Rook, evacuate or we vent the room. Evan boosted comm volume. Dravik, Keth vouches. She's stabilizing. Breach now. You kill her and spark riots. Bayari delegation sues for peace. Your quarantine undoes it. Silence. Then Keth. Marshal, scans confirm. Human intervention viable. Bayari symbiotes regenerate under sterile purge. Data supports. Dravik growled. 5 minutes, human. Fail, and I space you both. Evan tuned them out. He hooked the IV to Salith's arm port. Universal fitting. Station standard. Saline dripped, laced with broad-spectrum antibiotics. Her coughs quieted. Color returned to her frills. Why? Risk? She whispered. Mask muffled her voice, but gratitude laced it. Evan met her gaze. Oath. Do no harm. Your people built this station's core reactors. Mine handle the med bay. We collaborate. She nodded, frills fluttering. A Bayari smile. Trust flickered in her eyes. Scanner updated. Microbial load dropping 40%. Foam sealed the breach. He adjusted drip. Her hand lingered on his. Alarms quieted outside. Keth chimed in. Excellent adaptation, Rook. Vayari lore calls this bond cleanse. Rare for outsiders. Bond? Evan raised a brow. Salith's grip tightened. Symbiote link. You purify without scarring. My kin shun outsiders. You save. Warmth spread, not fever. Her scales cooled under his touch. Competence met compassion. He wiped her brow with a sterile cloth. Simple act. Her eyes widened. Human normal, he said. Keeps us alive. Not normal. She pulled the mask aside. Lips parted, breath steady. Miracle. Dravik's voice cut through. Vitals stable. Open up. Evan scanned final readouts. Clear. Keth, confirm. Affirmative. Contagion neutralized. She's clean. Evan helped Salith stand. Legs wobbled, but she leaned into him. Protective instinct surged. Not just medic now. He unsealed the hatch. Dravik burst in. Blaster drawn. Squad behind him. Salith straightened. Stand down, Marshal. Human proves worthy. Dravik's mandibles clicked, scanned her. Impossible. Vayari, die from less. Evan stripped gloves, tossed them in the recycler. Not impossible. Precise. Keth entered via holo. Data logged. Human protocols exceed Vayari thresholds for microbial isolation. Recommend cross-training. Darvik holstered. Eyed Evan. You gambled station security. Saved an envoy. Evan shrugged. Humble. Actions spoke. Salith touched Evan's arm. Debt binds us. Vayari way. Her frills flushed deeper violet. Cultural cue. Romance sparked in alien eyes. Evan smiled. Debt? Call it alliance. Corridor stirred. Delegation approached. Vayari kin. Wary. Salith faced them. He purifies. Trusts first. Murmurs. The elder nodded. Human competence. Share the cure? Evan glanced at Keth's hollow. Already compiling protocol. Dravik grunted. Don't get cocky, medic, but respect, edged his tone. Salith pulled Evan aside as crowds dispersed. Your touch lingers. Symbiotes attune. Biological difference. Human skin fluorobonded? He checked his arm. Faint iridescence. Shared cure, she said. Leaned closer. Breath warm. Evan's heart raced. Competence built trust. Compassion sealed it. Love, brewing. Station hummed on. Human saved alien. Bond deepened, but Dravik lingered in the hatchway. Watch him, envoy. Humans breed fast. Salith's laugh tinkled. Precisely why I stay. Evan froze. Revelation hit. Quarantine averted. Romance ignited. What next? Evan slapped a strip of industrial tape across the medbay bulkhead. The adhesive gripped with a sharp rip. Plastic sheeting unfurled behind it, shimmering under the harsh lights. Salith huddled on the exam slab. Her iridescent frills drooping limp. Violet streaks marred her azure skin. Biocontamination flares. She shivered. Human quarantine kills Vayari. Slow suffocation. Not today. Evan stretched another sheet corner to floor. Tape sealed it airtight. Marshal Dravik loomed in the hatchway. Armored crest flared. Medic Rook. Station protocol demands full isolation. She's a vector. Evan ignored him. He yanked the portable air scrubber from its locker. Unit thrummed to life, filters whirring. Hoses snaked under the sheeting. He taped the final seam.
Clean corner complete. Sterile bubble amid chaos.
Dravik's mandibles clicked. Folly. Your hygiene toys won't purge Vayari symbiotes. Evan met his gaze. Watch. He gloved up. Double layer. Sprayed disinfectant mist over his suit. Basic field medic drill. Salith's eyes widened. Multifaceted pupils dilating. Dravik snorted steam. Proceed. But one spike. I sealed this bay. Evan wheeled the saline cart inside. Plastic rustled. He motioned Salith. Arms out. This cleans without invading. She extended trembling limbs. Skin gleamed slick, pores pulsing faint bioluminescence. Evan saturated gauze with sterile saline. First, wipe across her forearm. Gentle circles. Salith gasped. Frills twitched. Monitor beeped. Reaction spike. Heart analog raced. Quantum markers flickered up 2%. Log it. Evan spoke to the overhead recorder. Time 0, saline contact. Localized flare. Dermal pH shift to 7.2. Bioburden stable. He switched gauze. Fresh saline. Wiped her shoulder. Her breath hitched. Frills perked fractionally. Spike again, then drop. Markers dipped 1%. Dravik leaned in. Scanner whirring. Trivial cleanse. Viari immune webs shred from human microbes. Evan kept rhythm. Wipe. Log. Wipe. Log. Salith's skin warmed under his touch. Violet faded to pale blue. She gripped his wrist suddenly. 4 fingers clamped like vice. Strength surprised him. Viari grip for sealing bonds. Don't abandon. Her voice cracked. Frills quivering against his glove. Promise. Your touch. Attunes. Leave now, I unravel. Evan paused, felt her pulse through the latex. Steady, trusting. I promise, not leaving till you're clear. She released. Frills flushed deeper violet. Not pain, something else. Cultural cue, he resumed scrubbing. Neck now, careful around gill slits. Log. Gill margins clear. Symbiote rebound detected. Bioburden down 8%. Dravik's scanner pinged. Impossible. Viari die from less. Evan stripped outer gloves, tossed them through the airlock flap. Recycler hummed. Precise hygiene. Human normal. Salith leaned into the wipe. You're calm. Miracles to us. Viari panic floods toxins. He nodded. Finished torso. Back. Legs. Every fold logged. Monitor trended green. Bioburden plummeted 27%. Basic saline scrubbed alien death. Dravik holstered his scanner. Eyed the drop. Data lies. Call it in. Evan keyed his comm. Archivist Keth. Medbay priority link. Olo flickered. Keth materialized. Elongated skull crested with sensor frills. Rook. Telemetry incoming? Evan patched the logs. Full suite. Saline protocol versus Viari bioweb. Need translation. What's attuning? Keth's frills rippled as data scrolled her display. Fascinating. Human sterility thresholds exceed ours by factors. Your saline disrupts contaminant lattices without host rejection. Symbiotes reforming? Salith touched Evan's arm through the sheeting. He purifies. Trusts first. Keth nodded. Data confirms. Cross-train, all envoys on human cleanse. Viari webs bond to stabilizers. Your skin flora mimics it? Evan checked his exposed wrist. Faint iridescence shimmered. Shared symbiote? Protocol ready? Affirmative. Keth beamed, file station-wide. Recommend you monitor her personally. Attunement phase critical. Dravik grunted. Breach risk. Shared cure. Salith's voice softened. She pressed palm to plastic. Evan mirrored it. Warmth bled through. Evan powered down the scrubber. Corner dismantled in minutes. Salith stood. Frills vibrant azure. She stepped close. Breath carried spice. Pheromone? Debt binds us. Viari way. Evan smiled. Alliance. Corridor stirred. Delegation arrived. Viari kin. Crests low. Elder scanned her. Murmurs rose. Salith faced them. Human competence. He shares the cure. Evan glanced at Keth's fading hollow. Protocol disseminated. Dravik lingered. Don't get cocky. But his mandibles eased. Salith pulled Evan aside as crowds dispersed. Your touch lingers. She traced his arm. Iridescence brightened.
Symbiotes attune. Biological bond.
Evan's pulse quickened. Human skin. Alien glow. Competence sparked it. Compassion deepened. Dravik watched from hatchway. Watch him, envoy. Humans breed fast. Salith laughed, frills dancing. Precisely why I stay. Evan froze. Revelation sank in. Quarantine dead. Romance kindled. Station secure. But delegation elder approached. Human. Teach all Viari? Evan nodded. Protocol's yours. Keth's voice chimed over comm. First cross-trainees inbound. Your bay. Dravik crossed arms. My security clears them. Salith slipped her hand into Evan's. 4 fingers laced with 5. Ours now. Warmth spread. Bond sealed. Evan guided her to the slab for final scans. Monitors purred clean. He logged the baseline. Her frills brushed his cheek. Accidental? Intentional. Stay close, she whispered. Attunement peaks at contact. He did. Hand on hers. Pulse synced. Human steady, Vayari fluttering to match. Delegation filed in. Young Vayari. Frills tentative. Elder pointed. Demonstrate. Evan gloved fresh. Saline ready. Watch. Precise. First trainee extended arm. Wipe. Log. Spike. Drop. Gasps rippled. Miracle hygiene. Keth's hollow returned. Telemetry gold. Human baseline redefines Vayari sterile. Dravik scanned the room. Tension eased. Efficient. Salith squeezed Evan's hand. You gambled. Won us. Not gamble. He wiped the trainee clean. Bioburden crashed. Standard op. Her laugh tinkled again. Leaned in, lips. Filled edges. Brushed his ear. Our standard now. Heat rose. Romance no longer brewing. Ignited. Station alerts quieted. Cross-training spread. Vayari envoys queued. Evan prepped next cart. Salith at his side. Bond deepened. Shared cure multiplied. But Dravik pulled him aside mid-wipe. She's envoy prime. Protect her, or I quarantine you both. Evan met his gaze. Already protecting. Dravik's mandibles clicked approval. Stepped back. Salith watched. Frills violet with pride. Alliance holds. Evan resumed. Wipe after wipe. Station transformed. Human compassion met alien need. Trust forged in saline and tape. Hours blurred. Trainees cleared. Protocols locked. Final scan. Salith perfect. She rose. Hugged him. Full body press. Frills enveloped. Love attunes fastest. Evan held her. Heart raced. Mutual. Delegation cheered. Elder clasped his shoulder. Human savior. Dravik nodded once. Left. Keth signed off. History made. Alone in medbay, Salith kissed him. Soft. Electric. Symbiotes danced on skin. Evan pulled back. Grinned. Next crisis? Us. Her fingers intertwined. Permanent. Station hummed. Cure shared. Love conquered. But calm buzzed. New alert. Quantum trace invents. Source? Evan tensed. Salith gripped tighter. Together. Alliance tested anew. Evan swabbed Salith's frilled lips. The sample glistened under the medbay lights. Keth hunched over the analyzer, his elongated fingers tapping controls. Cascade confirmed. Her symbiotes revolt against your world's microbes. Trace exposure. Fatal without purge. Evan sealed the vial. Salith's breath rasped behind her isolation mask. Violet frills wilted at her neck. Her eyes locked on his. Pleading, disciplined, mark the toxin, Evan said. We map this now. Keth's sensors whirred. Lines spiked on the hollow display. Evan leaned in. Human hygiene protocols flashed in his mind. Simple saline, antiseptics. Alien biology twisted them into miracles. Here, Keth pointed. A jagged peak glowed, toxin marker in her exhalant. Binds her lung sacs. Hours left before cascade hits organs. Evan nodded, grabbed micro-pipettes. Isolated. I test decon. Salith shifted on the exam slab. Restraints hummed soft. Her voice filtered through. My people. Exile carriers. Scar the flesh. Purify through pain. Evan paused. Met her gaze. No exile. No scars. We measure. We fix. Dravik burst through the door. Mandibles flared. Medic. Quarantine her sector. Full seal. Human breach risks all. Evan didn't turn. Pipetted the first decon. Standard saline flush. Dropped it on a breath sample slide. Bubbles formed. Toxin peak flatlined. Rejected, Evan said. Binds to aggressive. Tissue burn. Keth logged it. Data. Aligns. Next. Second solution. Iodine derivative. Evan dosed the slide. Peak surged higher. Sample frothed. Out, Evan snapped. 30 seconds. Amplifies cascade. Worse. Dravik slammed a gauntlet on the console. Enough tests.
She's Envoy Prime.
Contagion spreads. Lockdown now. Or I drag you both. Salith's frills pulsed crimson. Fear. Evan felt her tremor through the slab. He stepped between her and Dravik. Calm. Data first. Panic kills. Keth raised a palm. Marshall. Is rejection rate. 90% efficacy in Sims. Trust the map. Dravik's eyes narrowed. Human tricks. Your hygiene baffles us, but closeness? Breach. Evan ignored him. Third pipette, custom brew. Saline base, laced with his station soap emulsifier and a neutral symbiote buffer from Keth stock. Dropped it. Slide stabilized. Toxin peak dissolved. Clean drop. Viable, Evan said. Timed it. 2 minutes. Perfect. Salith exhaled sharp. It works. Evan grinned. Protocol born. Non-invasive purge. Inhale vapor, exhale bound toxin. Repeat till clear. Keth cross-checked. Her biology accepts. Human mundane? Soap disarms our plagues. Dravik growled. Gamble. 1 failure. Station falls. Evan prepped the nebulizer. Not gamble. Standard op. He calibrated flow. Salith's chart blinked. Organ stress rising. Window closing. She gripped his sleeve through the field. Frills brushed his skin. Warm. Electric. My ritual. Scars mark the pure. Exile alone. You offer together? Evan adjusted her mask. Measured. Repeated. Shared. His fingers lingered. Her touch steadied him. Keth nodded. Schedule now. Cascade peaks in 40. Dravik crossed arms. Eye monitor. 1 twitch. Quarantine. Evan activated the nebulizer. Mist filled her chamber. Salith inhaled deep. Frills perked. Violet returned. First exhale. Analyzer caught toxin globs. Peak dropped 20%. Working. Keth whispered, awe in his voice. Evan monitored vitals. Steady. Human calm under pressure. His edge. Aliens panicked at microbes. He wiped stations daily. Salith's eyes softened. Your hands, no tremble. My warriors, scar and flee. You stay. Field medic, Evan said, seen worse. Earth bugs hit hard. We adapt. Dravik paced. Adapt? Your skin sheds symbiote killers. Viari envoys queue for your wipes already. But her, prime blood, second cycle. Mist flowed. Toxin halved. Keth traced the map. Immune cascade reverses. Human protocol? Revolutionary. Salith laughed soft. Frills danced. Replaces ritual, no pain. Trust you. Evan checked seals. Her hand found his again. Lingered. Heat built. Not just care. Bond. Dravik halted. Mandibles clicked. Results? Clearing. Evan said. Full purge in 20. Third cycle. Peak vanished. Organs stabilized. Keth signed off. Pure. History. Salith rose. Restraints released. She pressed close. Full body. Frills enveloped him. Love attunes. Evan held her. Heart raced. Mutual. Dravik grunted. Stepped back. Alliance holds, for now. But alarms blared. Vents hissed. Quantum trace detected. Evan tensed. Salith gripped tighter. Together, she whispered. Keth scanned. Source upstream. Per origin ship. Dravik spun. Seal vents. Evan grabbed kits. Map it. We purge again. Salith nodded. Frills firm. Our standard now. Station shook. New cascade loomed. Bond tested. Evan led. Wipe cart. Ready. They moved as one. Keth followed. Protocol scales. Dravik barked orders, but eyes on Evan. Respect flickered. Salith leaned in. Lips brushed his ear. You save us. Microbes spread, but human hands turned tide. Vents clogged. Scans pinpointed. Hidden symbiote nest. Warped by human air. Evan donned gear. Flush protocol. Triple strength. Salith handed tools. Her touch electric. Trust. Sealed. Dravik sealed bulkheads. Your lead, medic. They vent crawled. Mist deployed. Toxins bound. Nest cleared. Station breathed clean. Back in medbay, delegation gathered. Elders bowed. Salith kissed him. Soft. Frills vibrant, permanent. Evan pulled her close. Us. But console pinged. Off-world signal. More envoys. Contam variant. Alliance called. Ready. Evan prepped next cart. Salith at side. Love. Fueled the cure. Dravik clasped shoulder. Savior. Keth logged. Shared forever. Station hummed. Human compassion conquered, yet deeper scans whispered, variant evolved, challenge anew. Together, Evan said. Her frills glowed. Always. Rifles snapped up. Barrels locked on Evan's chest. Marshal Dravik's voice boomed over the clinic alarms. Step away from the carrier, human. She's going into sealed quarantine. Now. Evan stood firm between the stretcher and the door. Salith lay strapped down behind him. Her frills wilted gray, skin slick with fever sweat. Trace human microbes, his microbes, had slipped through their last purge. Her biology rebelled. Catastrophic cascade in hours. He raised empty hands, voice steady. Marshal, you quarantine her. She dies. Give me 1 hour. Supervised purge. I fix this. Dravik's mandibles clicked fury. His guards advanced, rifles humming charge. Your fix contaminated her, medic. Station protocols demand isolation. Move, or we move you. Salith's claw gripped Evan's sleeve, weak but fierce. Evan, trust you. Her eyes, luminous blue, held his. Frills twitched faint hope. Evan didn't budge. Pragmatic calm surged. Human hygiene protocols, soap, antiseptics, sterile fields, miracles to them. He turned it again. Keth, dashboard now. Archivist Keth spun from the console. His tendrils flew over controls, broadcasting live. Evan's vitals, clean, no contam shed. Purging her saves us all. Holoscreens flickered station-wide. Evan's heart rate steady at 72. Oxygen sat pure. Microbial scan, baseline human norm. Gasps echoed from vents, crew watching. Dravik's eyes narrowed at the feed. Data doesn't erase risk. She's envoy. Her death sparks war. Your closeness breaches containment. Evan met the stare. Closeness built trust. She chose my hands. 1 hour. Your guards watch every swab, or you shoot a medic mid-save. Tension coiled. Guards shifted. Rifles stayed trained. Salith wheezed. Time bled. Dravik's mandibles stilled. 1 hour. Guards at door. Breach it. We vent the bay. He waved. Guards lowered weapons, but boots planted firm outside. Evan exhaled. Turned to Salith. Ready? Her frills perked sliver. Yours. Keth sealed the inner door. Purge tripled. Mapping her antigens to your protocols. Evan gloved up. Pulled the wipe cart close. The Salith species hated touch. Cultural taboo. Sterile fields their norm. But she'd gambled on him. Human hands, gentle pressure. First miracles they'd seen. He started at her frills. Alcohol swab circled base. She hissed. Stung like fire to her, but nodded. Continue. Dravik's voice crackled intercom. Vitals holding? Keth patched. Evan clean. Her fever dropping 0.2. Binding agents deploying. Evan worked methodically. Neck vents next. Microbe reservoirs. He flushed with saline. Suctioned traces. Her skin cooled under his palms. Biological gulf yawned. Humans thrived in microbial soup. Her kind engineered vacuum purity. Is normal germs? Plague. Salith's claw brushed his wrist. Your calm anchors. He smiled, swabbed her torso. Team effort. Breathe steady. Guards' shadows loomed outside glass. Rifles peaked. Dravik paced corridor, eyes boring through. Keth leaned in. Her symbiote analogs rejecting human peptidases. Adjusting binders. Evan nodded. Switched to UV wand. Passed slow over limbs. Glow highlighted faint red webs. Quantum paths. Her frills brightened turquoise. Progress. Young ones whisper, Salith murmured. Human saves, not conqueror. Evan capped the wand. Just medic. Your biology's tough. We adapt. Alarms pinged soft. Keth checked. Cascade halted. 80% purge. Dravik barked intercom. Status, archivist. Transparent. Evan's dashboard green, her scans inverting. Time ticked. 45 minutes gone. Evan prepped injectors. Custom cocktail. His blood plasma filtered. Enzyme boosted. Human immunity hack. Broad spectrum. Alien eyes wide at tests. Salith-eyed needle. Pain, pinch. Build your shield. He slid it home. Her vein took it smooth. Frills flared vibrant. She gripped his hand post-pull. Feel, clear. He scanned. Clean. Keth beamed. Full purge. Station safe. Door hissed. Dravik stormed in. Retinue tight. Scanned Salith. Readings confirmed. Mandibles parted. Shock. Impossible. No quarantine breach. Evan stripped gloves. Compassion plus protocol. She trusted. We delivered. Salith sat up. Frills danced full spectrum. Pulled Evan close. Lips met his. Soft electric. Station gasped over broadcast. Dravik stiffened. Intimate contact risks. Monitored. Keth cut. Zero transfer. Human baseline extraordinary. Dravik eyed them. Respect cracked armor. You gambled station for her. Evan held Salith's gaze. Per life station's bridge. Alliance holds. Guards lowered heads. Whispers spread. Human miracle. But console screamed. New ping. Off-world shuttle docking. Contam variant inbound. Salith's skin hit harder. Evan grabbed Kit. Round two? Her frills glowed. Together. Dravik clasped Evan's shoulder. Rare grip. Your lead, medic. Alarms wailed anew. Variant scans flooded. Evolved. Deadlier. Shuttle breach imminent. Salith stood hand in his. Love fuels cure. Evan nodded. Human hands ready, but this strain whispered adaptation, targeted to human vectors now. Guards reformed, rifles out. Not at him, toward the docking bay. Keth patched feeds. Incoming envoys collapsing. Your purge? Scaled? Dravik spun. Bulkheads up. But shuttle's hot. Evan eyed Salith, her nod steel. We greet them. Clean, they moved. Clinic doors parted. Corridor thrummed tension. Crew parted. Eyes awe. Fear mixed. Salith leaned close. You turned plagues to bonds. He squeezed her claw. Us. Shuttle klaxons pierced. Docking clamps locked. Airlock cycled. Biohazard mist sprayed, but screams echoed inside. Evan shouldered Kit, first through. Doors blew. 3 envoys sprawled, frills black, convulsing. Variant foam bubbled mouths. Dravik barked. Quarantine. Evan dropped to knees. No. Purge live. Scanned lead envoy. Worse, neurotoxin hybrid. Salith knelt beside. My clan. Save. Keth relayed. Dashboard live. Station watches. Rifles hovered. Dravik growled. Your hour again? Evan nodded. Wiped first frill. Escale it. Now. Envoys twitched. Time crushed. He flushed vents. UV swept. Injections primed. Salith handed tools. Touch synced. Trust electric. Dravik watched close. Data holds. Keth. Evan. Pure. Toxins binding. First envoy stabilized. Frills flickered. Crew murmured. Human saves clans. Second. Third. Purge rolled, but lead envoy gasped. Soars. Our ship core. Nest breached. Evan froze. Ship wide. Docking tube contaminated. Alarms station-wide. Vents reversing. Dravik sealed tube.
Evac bay.
Salith pulled Evan up. Kiss. Fierce. Lead us. He donned breather. Vent crawl. Flush core. Guards followed. Rifles slung aid. They piled tube. Microbes swirled fog. Evan mapped purge. Triple mist. Binders ahead. Nest pulsed ahead. Warped symbiote mass. Human air mutated. Salith pointed. There. Evan deployed. Mist bloomed. Toxins latched. Nest shriveled. Clean. Backstation. Envoys rose. Bows deep. Clan elder gripped Evan. Bondmate. Hero. Salith beamed. Mine. Dravik nodded. Alliance steel. But deep scans pinged. Core logs. Variant seed planted deliberate. Sabotage whisper. Evan prepped next. Salith at side. Who? She hissed. Eyes turned. Shadows in logs. Dravik's mandibles clenched. Hunt begins. Human compassion ignited. Love armed it. Station hummed. Ready. Evan's gloved fingers pressed the injector against Salith's neck frill. The purge cycle hissed to life. Blue fluid surged into her veins. Monitors beeped. Her core temperature spiked to 41 degrees. Blood analog clotting at the edges. He wiped sweat from his brow. Station air hummed with tension. Rifles trained on him from the bay doors. Dravik's mandibles clicked. One wrong move, human. Data's clean, Keth countered from the console. The bioethicist's tentacles flew over screens. Toxins binding, hold steady. Sayla's eyes locked on Evan's. Her scaled hand gripped his wrist. Yours now, she whispered in clipped trade. Frills quivered. Evan nodded, checked the drip. Hydration line flowed steady. UV lamps bathed her isolation pod in sterilizing light. He scaled the vents wider. Human standard flush. Alien lungs too delicate for full blast. Her people built ships like living hives. Symbiote cores vulnerable to off-world microbes. Human air turned it feral. Now it festered in her. Temperature climbed. 42. Blood analog frothed markers, toxin blooms. Evan adjusted the heat pad. Controlled burn to denature the proteins. Keth filtration rate. Max safe, pushing 80% bind. Dravik paced closer. Quarantine her. Full seal. She's the vector. Salith hissed. No cage. Evan ignored him. Swapped filters mid-cycle. His hands moved on instinct. Field medic drills from dustball colonies. Wipe. Inject. Monitor. Human basics. Pulse dropping. Good sign. Crew murmured beyond the glass. Envoys from her clan pressed forward. Frills flared in hope. Station-wide alarms had silenced after the nest purge, but scans flagged her as ground zero, sabotage seed or not. She carried the load. Her chest heaved. Evan synced the ventilator. Precise rhythm, matched to her gill pulses, trust built-in touches. Her handing tools in the tube crawl, his mist saving the core. Now this. Temperature peaked. 43.5. He force-fed saline analogs, flushed kidneys. Toxins collapsed under the assault. Markers grayed on the dashboard. Salith arched. Seizure hit like a plasma strike. Limbs locked. Ventilator alarm screamed. Lungs seizing mid-breath. Evan ripped the tube. No time for protocols. He pinched her frill valve. Switched to manual. 2 breaths. Seal. Compress. Release. Her chest rose under his palms. Rifle snapped up. Stand down, Dravik bellowed. That's breach. Keth's voice cut through, her sats crashing. He's stabilizing. Evan pumped steady. 1 Mississippi, 2. Her blood analog cleared, toxins folding into inert sludge. Heat pad hummed hotter. He dripped more binders direct to her secondary heart. Human trick. Overload and purge. Aliens favored slow chelation. Too late here. Dravik's claw hovered over the seal switch. Evac her to hard quarantine. Now. Salith's envoy kin snarled. Fists clenched. Violence brewed in their eyes. Clan honor against station law. Evan kept rhythm. Sweat stung his eyes. Keth. Log it. Manual vent protocol. Human baseline. Logged. O2 rebounding. Toxins at 12%. Her frills twitched. Color returned. Iridescent blues deepening. Evan eased pressure. Tested a breath. She inhaled solo. Dravik lowered his weapon a fraction. Insane. Station feed crackled. Medic saves lead envoy. Again. Evan pulled back. Monitors stabilized. Temperature 39. Blood analog pure. He stripped gloves, touched her frill barehanded. Clean skin to scale. You're through. Salith's eyes fluttered open. Golden slits focused on him. She seized his hand, fingers weaving through his in a grip like vines claiming trellis. The strength surprised him. Her voice rasped, ancient tones lilting over trade. Belkarth. Bond Guardian, Salith claims. Crew gasped. Envoys bowed low. Keth's tentacles stilled. That's permanent oath. Plan eternal. Dravik froze. Mandibles parted. She bonds the contaminant? Evan squeezed back. Warmth spread. Her pulse sinking to his. Romance sparked in crisis. Cross-species fire. Means protector? Keth nodded fast. Life debt. Mated guard. Her line yours. Salith pulled him closer. Lips brushed his knuckles. Mine. Heat flushed Evan's neck. Human norms clashed. Quick trust. Hands-on care. To them, miracles. He smiled. Rest. Scans clear. Dravik growled. Data lies. She's still hot. He jabbed the console. Deep scan pinged. Residual marker. Buried deep. Keth leaned in. Variant strain. Sabotage signature matches logs. Salith tensed. Purge it. Evan primed the next injector, but her breath hitched. Lungs fluttered. Mid-inhale shut down. Alarms wailed anew. Her hand crushed his. Eyes widened in terror. "She's crashing," Keth yelled. Dravik lunged for the quarantine lever. Rifles rose. Envoys roared. Evan shoved the injector home. Too late? Her frills grayed, body locked rigid. The purge worked, until Sabotage fought back. He dropped to her side. Manual, again. Pump. Breathe. Hold on. Station shook with shouts. Dravik's claw hovered. Seal or die. Salith's grip weakened. Evan's world narrowed to her pulse. Human grit versus alien plague. He wouldn't lose her now. Keth patched through. Binder variant needed. Human synth? Evan nodded. Improvise. He yanked a station medkit. Ripped open sterile packs. Mixed on the fly. Alcohol base. UV catalyst. Human moonshine hack for field toxins. Dravik bellowed. Stop! Breach! Envoys charged the glass. Fists hammered. Guardian. Evan plunged the mix. Her veins took it greedy. Toxins sparked on screen. Collapsing faster. Breath returned. Shallow, then deep. Frills flushed vibrant. She coughed. Smiled faint. Veilkarth endures. Dravik stepped back. Rifles lowered. How? Evan wiped her brow. Clean hands. Quick fixes. Humble truth. Humans scrubbed, patched, pushed through. Keth grinned. Tentacles waving. Protocol update. Human purge. Station adopt. Salith tugged him down. Lips met his. Fierce. Scaled. Electric. Tongs danced. Species bridged. Love sealed in crisis. Crew cheered. Envoys knelt. Bond honored. But Dravik's eyes narrowed at the logs. Saboteur still loose. Who planted the seed? Shadows flickered on peripheral cams. Figures in vents. Rival clan markings. Evan armed himself. Salith rose beside him. Bond guardian. Partners. Station braced. Hunt ignited. Evan monitored the final drip. Salith's temperature held steady at 37.8, optimal for her kind. Blood analog flowed clear. Toxin markers flatlined. He logged it twice. Synced to Keth's dashboard. Dravik loomed. She's stable. Quarantine ends. Keth cross-checked. Negative markers. Release advised. Salith sat up slow. Scales gleamed under UV afterglow. She flexed claws, tested breath. Strong. Evan helped her swing legs off the pod. Touch lingered, fingers tracing his palm. Her biology hummed different. Dual hearts. Gill frills for low O2 worlds. Human lungs gulped air. Hers sipped efficiency. Yet his crude vents saved her. Envoys rushed in, bows deep. Elder clasped Evan's shoulders. Veilkarth proven, clan's ally. Dravik grunted, reluctant. Data wins. But watch her. Salith leaned into Evan. Frill brushed his neck. Intimate pulse. Watch us. Romance bloomed raw. Her people bonded for life. Pheromones locking kin. His choice. Fire forged. Keth pulled logs. Seed from outer docks. Rival envoy ship. Fear quarantine. Spark war. Dravik's mandibles snapped. Hunt them. Evan nodded. Competence shared. Human compassion armed the station. Love fueled it. Salith whispered. Together. He kissed her frill. Always. But alarms pinged soft. Her scan. Faint echo. Shutdown threat lingered? No. Deeper ping. Incoming rival fleet. Quarantine ploy exposed. Station armed. Bonds held. Keth slammed the console panel. Holologs burst to life above the medpod. Capsule trace. Rival Zoreth ship. Deployed in Salith's docking tube. Human microbes? No. Engineered mimicry. Evan gripped the pod edge. Salith's hand tightened on his. Her frill quivered against his arm. Warmth pulsing in sync with her dual hearts. Dravik's mandibles clicked sharp. Proof? Keth swiped data streams. Spectral matches glowed red. Toxin shell. Zareth bioforged. Mimics human gut flora. Sabotage to frame you, Station Chief. Spark panic. Quarantine war. Dravik's eyes narrowed at Evan. Convenient. Human saves her. Now this? Evan met the stare. Test it. My gear's clean. Run the chain. Salith rose from the pod. Scales shifted iridescent under lights. I felt the prick. Outer airlock. Not human, envoys murmured. Elder nodded. Vale Karth stands. Dravik barked into comms. Station lockdown. All bays sealed. Detain the carrier. Saleth Vey. Evidence for tribunal. Alarms wailed. Bulkheads hissed shut. Boots thumped in corridors. Evan pulled Saleth close. Her claws pricked his sleeve. Gentle anchor. Not happening. Keth unlatched a side grate. The service tunnels. Lab access. One test confirms capsule residue in her system. Dravik whirled. Medic, stand down. Evan scooped Saleth's cloak over her shoulders. Protocol, verify before detain. He ducked into the grate first. Cool metal scraped his knees. Dim strips flickered on. Pipes hummed overhead. Saleth followed, frill folding tight. Risk you. For truth. Evan crawled steady. His field medic pack scraped walls. Human shoulders wedged narrow bends. Aliens glided slimmer. He punched overrides on junction pads. Vents whooshed stale air. Dravik's voice echoed behind. Security breach. Seal tunnels! Boots pounded grates. Red lights pulsed. Evan yanked Saleth through a vent drop. They landed in sublevel dim. Lab door loomed. Keth's code blinked green. Inside, analyzers hummed quiet. Scanner. Evan slotted her arm cuff. Needle pricked clean. Hollow bloomed. Capsule shards in her blood analog. Zorath markers flared. Saleth exhaled. Sabotage proven. Keth burst through a side hatch. Eyes wide. Tribunal summons. Dravik calls now. Public feed. Evan logged the scan. Synced station-wide. They see it? Delayed. He wants her caged first. Saleth straightened. Claws flexed. No cage. I testify. Walk with you. Evan paused. Her frill brushed his jaw. Paramount trace sweet. Alien. Human choice burned hotter. Dangerous. Rivals inbound. She clasped his hand. Dual pulse thromed. Bonded. Together. Keth nodded. Data backs you. Go public. Shift the marshal. Evan led. Back tunnels twisted. They emerged at tribunal antechamber. Guards flanked doors. Rifles hummed charge. Dravik blocked entry. Human, step aside. She's contaminant. Saelith pushed forward. I walk free. Proof inside. Guards shifted. Evan held her elbow. Steady. Scan logs live. Check your pad. Dravik snarled. Comms buzzed. He scanned. Faceplates paled. Zorath fleet ping confirmed. 2 hours out. Doors parted. Tribunal chamber glowed under hollow orbs. Elders sat high. Station feeds streamed galaxy-wide. Archivist Keth took podium. Envoys filled benches. Saleth strode center. Evan beside. Hand linked hers. Gasps rippled. Her scales caught light. His plain fatigues contrasted. Envoy Vale Karth. Elder intoned. Charges. Contamination breach. Saleth raised cuff. Sabotage. Zorath capsule. Mimic toxin. Hollow projected. Capsule deploy. Scan matches. Dravik countered from side dais.
She carries traces. Quarantine her.
Detained for dissection. Full proof. Murmurs swelled. Guards edged closer. Evan squeezed her hand. My protocol cleared her. Human standard. Scrub, isolate, monitor. Toxins gone. Keth projected medlogs. Human vents, UV cascade, microfiltration. Alien tech failed. His hygiene. Beyond our norms. Elder leaned. Human, explain. Evan stepped forward. Calm voice cut noise. Field medic. Washed hands. Sterile tools. Calibrated her optimal. 37.8 core temp. Dual hearts stabilized. Clear. Aliens leaned. Frills twitched awe. Washed. Hands. One whispered. Saleth nodded. His touch saved. No fear. Competence. Dravik slammed podium. Intimacy breach. Pheromone risk. Her frill flared. Protective wave at Evan. Bond forms. Life debt. Human way. Choice. Feeds buzzed. Comments scrolled. Terran miracle. Zorath ploy exposed. Elder raised claw. Testimony accepted. Lockdown lifts. Armed defenses. Rival fleet. Dravik froze. Mandibles slack. Stand down, Marshal. Elder-eyed Evan. Medic Rook. Station honor. Salith pulled him close. Frill pulsed intimate against his neck. Claws traced his arm. Promise. Chamber emptied. Envoys bowed deep. Keth grinned. Data triumphs. Outside, corridors buzzed. Crew saluted Evan. Ela. Dravik passed stiff. Watch your human. Fleet comes. Evan nodded. We'll hold. Us. Us. They ducked to medbay. Her hand lingered, fingers interlaced, human skin rough against scales. She tested vents again. Breath deep. Your air. Cleanse. He adjusted mask. Yours sustains. Alarms escalated. Fleet signatures sharpened. Station guns powered. Keth Komed. One anomaly. Her deep scan, residual capsule trigger, could chain react if stressed. Evan frowned. Test now. Sylith tensed. Tribunal stress? Possible. He prepped hypo. Purify full. Trust me. She nodded. Lay back. Needle slipped. Toxin flushed. Final purge. Clear, but console pinged. Not fleet. Rival envoy signal. Direct to Salith. Vale Karth. Yield. Or we detonate your implant. Her eyes widened. Claw dug his palm. Evan's jaw set. Implant, hidden capsule core. Dravik burst in. Fleet hails. Demand her. Alive? Salith rose fierce. No yield. Evan synced scans. It's here, in her gill-frill base. Surgical extract. Now, Keth arrived. Tools clattered. Risky. Dual hearts. Dravik gripped rifle. Quarantine her. Bomb the bay. Evan blocked. My hands. Human precision. Salith met his gaze. Yours. Lights dimmed. Battle ready. Fleet closed. Keth pinned her frill. Evan incised steady bloodless seal. Capsule shard gleamed. Tweezers plucked. Neutralizer sprayed. Out. She gasped. Hearts raced even. Clear ping. Dravik lowered rifle. Terran. Fleet broke. Station guns locked. Salith clutched Evan. Pheromones flooded. Bond seal. Life mate. He kissed her frill. Pulse matched. But hollow flared. Rival lead ship. False flag ends. We claim sabotage credit. War now. Evan armed med station defenses. Not today. Compassion forged steel. Competence won allies. Love ignited fire. Station roared to life. Bonds unbreakable. Yet deep scan echoed faint. One more trace? Evan gripped the tribunal podium. Hollow projector hummed to life. The assembled envoys, Salith's fleet reps, station council, and Dravik's security cadre leaned forward. His purge protocol schematics bloomed in crisp blue light. Simple human saline flush, microfiltration, antibiotic cascade. This works, he said. Saved her. Proof here. Dravik snorted from his armored perch. Terran tricks. Quarantine holds. One purge doesn't rewrite doctrine. Evan tapped the hollow. The extracted capsule rotated, its bioagent signature pulsing red. Sabotage. Rival fleet planted this in her frill base. Detonation trigger tied to her vitals. I cut it out. Human scalpel precision. No dual heart complications. Murmurs rippled. Archivist Keth nodded from the data dais, her frills quivering. Scans confirm. Contaminant matched human microbes. Trace only. Evan's protocol neutralized without tissue rejection. Salith stood beside Evan. Her claw laced through his sleeve. Pheromone wisps curled. Trust scent, sharp as citrus to his nose. She pressed close. Gill frill brushing his arm. Dual hearts thrummed against his side. The counselor hissed. Human touch spreads it. Lock her down. Evan met every gaze. Watch. He triggered demo sim. Virtual Salith model, contamination spike. Protocol ran. Flush. Filter. Seal. Vitals green-lined. Station-wide viable. My clinic did it in minutes. No deaths. No panic. Dravik's mandibles clicked. Risky. One failure. 0 failures. Evan synced live feeds from his medbay. 3 test patients, alien workers with mild exposure, walked out clear, waving frills. Human normal. Soap. Seals. Steady hands. Your biosuits fail at seals. We don't. Kath projected cross-species charts. Human immunity baseline exceeds ours by factors. Their hygiene is our shield. The lead envoy's eyes widened. Reversal. Protocol approved. Quarantine lifts. Dravik growled but holstered his sidearm. Tribunal hammered assent. Cheers erupted. Frill flares and human claps. Salith stepped forward. Her voice cut crystal. Conspirator's method exposed. She activated her wristpad. Rival comlog spilled. Encrypted bursts from a station insider. Engineer Tarak. Injected capsule via maintenance drone. Aim to frame humans. Ignite war. Gasps. Tarak. A wiry tech from Dravik's own crew. Froze in the back row. Salith's pheromones spiked. Fury blend. Acrid. No reprisals. Shared medical exchange. Human protocols for our fleets. Our neural mapping for your plagues. Envoys buzzed. Keth chimed in. Data symmetry. Cultural bridge. Evan squeezed her claw. Her gaze locked his. Gratitude heat. Pulse synced again. Dravik surged up. Tarek! Security drone's word. The engineer bolted, but stun nets snapped. He crumpled, webbed. Dravik hauled him to the podium. Confess. Tarak spat. Rivals paid. Humans too soft. Soft saved her. Dravik cuffed him tight, turned to the tribunal. Clinic protocol. Station-wide. Mandate. Evan's lead. Applause thundered. Salith pulled Evan aside as crowds milled. Her frill grazed his jaw. Intimate brush. You turned poison to pact. He traced her scales. Smooth, warm, team effort. Her dual hearts raced. Pheromone flood. Bond deepener, honey sweet. Life mate, come to my ship. Evan blinked. Fleet shuttle waited dockside, hull gleaming. They boarded amid salutes. Bridge crew bowed frills. Salith led him to command deck, star maps swirling, her people's runes glowing. She faced him, claws framing his face. Our purification laws. Archaic. Quarantine kills carriers. Fear over cure. Her voice softened. Help rewrite your compassion. Our future. Evan's chest tightened. Her scent enveloped. Promise, yes. But one trace lingers. He synced his medpad to hers. Deep scan from surgery pinged. Faint anomaly. Neck nodule. Salith tensed. Implant remnant or new? He prepped scanner. Extract now. Trust. She lay on the med slab, frill exposed. Evan incised. Millimeter perfect. Shard glinted. Second capsule. Dormant. Tweezers out. Neutralizer hiss. Clear. She rose, clutched him fierce. Lips. Soft ridges met his. Pheromones sealed. Eternal bond. Rewrite starts here. Alarms blared. Rival fleet inbound. Dravik's comm crackled. Terran, they're launching. Your protocol? Weaponize it? Evan grinned. Salith's hand in his. Already did. Station guns powered. Human-alien crews synced. War averted. We're just beginning. One nodule's twin hummed faint. Elsewhere,